Alright, hello everyone and welcome to my Zyra video guide, the mini version. Now, this Zyra guide is, well, it's not perfect Zyra play, okay? So that's on purpose. This is just an average game that I have where I do some things really good and some things not so good. And then I can point those out to you to see common mistakes Zyra players make and what can go really well. So this is in a Diamond 2 or Diamond 3 elo game. So initially, just like when you're supporting on anybody, you always want to be watching for invades, because invades can obviously get you behind early, and more importantly it can get your team to tilt early, which is even worse. So oftentimes I will try to ward this brush or that brush, but we actually have very bad ward coverage in this game, so it's pretty risky. Sometimes people can do delayed invades, and if you're watching the mini-map, they can just come around through here and get some easy first bloods and steal a buff. So luckily that doesn't happen, but it's something to watch for. I usually go Q level 1, and then give a few autos to help him leash, and then run back to lane. Q level 1 gives you the most reliable harass level 1, and gives you the ability to push the wave. As you're coming over into lane, your main goal early game is going to be use your Q to harass as well as pushing the wave to try to get an early level 2. So Zyra, with her W, does have a very good early push. And then against Morgana, it's a very interesting lane, because as long as I don't get hit by bindings, I do really well. Unfortunately, this game I'm terrible with the bindings, and I get by like almost everyone. Graves too. This Morgana is really on point. So once we get these last melee minions in the second wave, we'll hit 2, and we do hit 2, but unfortunately they hit it a little early. And so immediately you want to try to get some good QW harass out. Pop the Q, and then while it's going, you cast the W, your seed, underneath the Q. Now Graves Zyra lane is a really strong lane. You want to play really aggressive, just like what's going on right here. Wait for your seeds to charge up. You can see seeds in the bottom left, and I tried to put a seed here because you want to keep the support off of your AD carry. That's #1 priority. Give your AD carry free farm. #2 priority is try to stop their AD carry from getting free farm. So again, dropping 1 Q, 1 W on the Zyra. Now this lane is a little extra hard because both Zyra and Morgana have a spell shield. So it's very difficult for me to get reliable harass in this game. Makes it a pretty good showing of what to do in this situation. The Zyra is naturally going to push with all of the harass that you do with your Q and your W. It'll attack the champions if they're closest, but otherwise they won't. So see, there's the black shield. In general, against this lane, or when there's a lot of spell shields, you don't want to be using your E too much. It gives them a lot more time to spell shield, and it's not as spammable as your Q. So usually what I'm going to be doing in this lane is just QWing. One W as harass. Always back up your AD carry, try to break them off. Graves goes in, so I try to help him, but I go a little too far. And I was gonna flash this Q, but I did not get the reaction time in time, and I am dead. So you want to support your AD carry, but you don't want to put yourself in a position that you die. So that's one of the main things as Zyra. Support your carry, but always stay far enough back that you can get out. So I should have used flash, but I did not. And that is another big thing for Zyra. You always want to use flash. Never be too careful about using your summoner spells, because it's better to not have a summoner spell than to be dead in most cases. Alright, so moving things along here. Notice that for my first buy, I got a Frost Fang instead of a Sight Stone. I usually rush one of those 2 items. Now, in this case, actually in general, you want to get a Frost Fang if you're getting pushed in. And you want to get a Sight Stone if you're pushing a lot. So Frost Fang, if you're getting pushed in, what is that going to give you? That's going to give you more mana regen, more AP, more harass, and more gold. So it's perfect when you're pushed in. The only downside is you don't get the vision from a Sight Stone. But if you're constantly pushing and you don't need those extra stats, a Sight Stone is by far more important because it can make it a lot easier to not get ganked. So again, here's some pretty standard harass. E her and give a Q here. Unfortunately, I did waste one of my plants over there that I should have had right now, but not too big of a deal. This Graves is going to play up, but again, they have this double spell shield, which makes this very, very difficult. Use the plants to keep their support off of your AD carry, and even though we're behind, notice that we're still not getting zoned very bad. What is it? We got Graves is Boots and a Doran's Blade. So a little odd that he went Boots, but he was worried about these Morgana bindings that keep going. I got Frostfang, and then the Morgana, here, let's move these around. The Morgana got, she's building up for Sightstone and then getting started on her Zanyas as well. And then the Sivir already got a pickaxe. So stat-wise, we're 1-0 to a Boots to a pickaxe. So we should be really, really far behind. But as you can see, we managed to still farm all right, and then get some kills later on. So under tower, always try to help your AD carry farm under tower. Use your plants to keep people off your AD carry, and that's basically Zyra's early game. So let's fast forward for a little bit here because it's just kind of us farming for a bit, and we get a gank from Gangplank pretty soon, I think. So I messed up right there. I did not do a great job helping out with the farming under turret, but that's a really small thing that you can do that helps your AD carry a lot. So again, Sivir's pushing. We're getting zoned right here, and that's fine because they're pushing it into turret, so we're not losing that minion. Again, even though we're under turret, try to use your plants to give him some breathing room. You don't want to get harassed under turret. That makes it even worse. Can't do too much harassing because they do have the double spell shield, but use your plants as well. A lot of people underestimate the plant, Zyra players and Zyra's opponents, but they can really add a lot of damage and harass. So more of the same goes on for a while, just farming, staying safe. We are really far behind. The rest of our team is about even though, so it's all right. All right, here's something that's gonna be really interesting. All right, notice Gangplank's coming down for a gank. They have double spell shield, so it's really hard for me to set up a gank. But what I do is I flash forward and root her immediately, so she doesn't have time to spell shield. She spell shields my ultimate, but only spell shields the damage from my ultimate. And then the knockup from my ultimate still hits. She flashes, and then Graves ends up flashing forwards, or maybe just dashing forwards, and does a quick buckshot and ultimate, along with the Gangplank Q and the Kassadin, meaning that we got the kill on this. So let's go back a little bit. What do we got here? So I dodge this, flash forward, root her before either one can get a spell shield. She spell shields the damage. The black shield is eaten through by the plants, and I still get the knockup on my ultimate. So this is actually a really clutch Zyra play that illustrates kind of a lot of things that you want to do when you're playing as Zyra. And it does end up getting one kill, although it's a gank and a teleport for us. However, this helps Graves immensely. He doesn't actually pick up the kill, but the free lane farming as well as the assist gold mean a lot for our lane. And I think you can see that after this point, we don't get zoned anymore, and we get back a lot of our advantage. So he gets his BF off of this. So does Sivir, but now it's BF and Boots to BF and Pickaxe, so it's a lot closer. Plus Graves naturally has such high damage, and I get my Sightstone right now. Always notice I also get 2 of each potion and a pink ward. So that's another small thing that I think a lot of people don't utilize enough. So I use my pink ward in this tri-brush, not so much for vision, but for the baiting potential. Now that's something that you can do a lot as Zyra, is put a pink ward somewhere and then people try to contest it, but you have such amazing 2v2 that it'll bait them into dying. Oftentimes you can also use a pink ward as a bait for your jungler. Unfortunately in this game I completely forgot about the pink ward and I didn't get to stop Morgana from taking it. So I do a little bit of damage here, but not too much. I get hit by her binding. She takes about half damage from my plants. So I probably could have gotten a kill off of that pink ward if I played it right. So misplay from my perspective, but it's something you knew. So she's choosing to spell shield my Q, which is a little weird because she gets trapped in the damage from my E, and she's fighting it, and she's so short range that she still takes a lot of damage from the plants, even though she spell shields the skill. So again, here we got her low from all of our harass, and then flash ulted for the kill. Not much from me except for all the harass that I did, because you can only spell shield one of your skills, and then she can't spell shield the plants. Kha'Zix comes for a gank. I expected him always stay behind so he can maybe get on someone, but if he jumps on someone, I'm gonna immediately root him and blow him up. So there's actually not too much that he can do right here. So again, stick with your team, but always be in the back so you can defend if he does anything crazy. I don't think he does. I don't think he chooses to do anything crazy. And everyone's going back here, so you have two decisions you can make. You can either stay to get the experience, or if that's too dangerous, you have to back as well. So I noticed that they're going over to Dragon. Pop the question mark to tell our team that I think they're probably doing that, and then I start farming. And here, I think I can kill the Morgana, but I actually missed my route. Let's see that again. So, really quick, I missed my route. I have 2 Q plants, but none of the CC actually goes off because of her spell shield. Otherwise, I could have killed her, and that would have been nice. Unfortunately, due to Zyra's ult being such a high cooldown early game, me not having my ultimate is actually going to end up biting us in our next 2v2. Because Graves doesn't know. I did not tell him that I don't have my ultimate. He didn't check the bubble on the left side of the screen. So Graves is actually going to get a little too aggressive coming up, and all in when we cannot. So when your ultimate as Zyra is really important in doing well for the lane. So when you don't have it, it's very important to communicate to your AD carry not to get too aggressive, because you can only do so much follow-up. So again, I get the root, get the plant, she spell shields the cube, I still have the plants going, she's low, Graves gets baited, gets hit by a binding, Morgana all-ins us. I try to do what I can, but Graves is already too low, and then she pops the heal and spell shields my next Q, and we get 0 for 2 in that exchange. Pretty bad. All that would have been an easy double kill for Graves if I had my ultimate, but unfortunately I didn't, and I didn't let him know. So I get boots here, and again more wards, a pink ward and more potions. This is where the laning phase ends. They took our turret. Graves is pretty strong right now, even though we didn't really win lane. So I'm gonna go around, try to get vision control, and then maybe see if I can force a fight somewhere, because Zyra's really strong at this point. I'll get even much stronger when I get Morellos and my haunting guys. So I feel like we're slightly on the back foot, and if you can see that we actually are down a little bit of gold. So I focus more on warding deep. Again, this Morgana is outplaying me very hard with the bindings. I do my best. Also, right there, we got vision that they were all top, so that would have been a great time for me to go down, place some deep wards in their jungle. And deep wards are super helpful for preventing ganks and knowing where their team is. Instead, I decide to get some wards on the inside of our jungle, as you can see here, and then go top to protect this turret. Our top laner had just died, I believe, pushing really far, and the Aurelia is pushing it. So coming up here is something that is a pretty big team fight, and what happens is, notice how fed our Kassadin and our Gangplank are right now, and the Riven has a lot of kills too, even though he also has a lot of deaths. So each team is baiting the other. They have 2 up there. I keep them away from the TF gank while they can easily kill him. I flash away from the Aurelia, and then Aurelia is not even in half of that fight. And now it's 4 on 2, I believe, after we've already killed one of them. So again, going back, they're setting up a gank from before, but we cut off half of the people, and the other half get tripped up by me. So the slow plant slows the Kha'Zix, and Aurelia dives for me. Meanwhile, Twisted Fate's already dead because Gangplank and Riven have a lot of damage. And then we just keep chasing and end up getting a lot from this little skirmish right here. So I placed my ult a little safely in there because I was afraid of getting caught out by the 2 of them, but it actually bought us enough time to win that 3v3, and then Kassadin kind of came up. I don't think Kassadin actually got to do much, so I think it actually was a 3v3 and not a 3v4. Now, luckily Kassadin has teleport, and he's going to use that to save our bottom turret, and meanwhile we're going to use the advantage of having killed all of them top to get a top turret. Again, this Kassadin's very, very big. We just got a turret. Objectives are super important, and as you're going out, try to get some deep wards on your way out. And again, see right here, I don't want to be there because Kazakhs can easily kill me, but I want to defend the Riven. So run away, but run away close enough to the Riven that if the Kazakhs goes for him, I can save him. And actually, I think that's what happens. Coming up here, he thinks he's backing right there, and so Kassadin comes in and he stealths, but the root still gets him. So that's what you always do. EW is what you want to do in those cases. You can get the AoE root on, and then you can get a plant that will slow them from the E. So again, I'm signaling right now my team because Dragon's up and we really need to take it. We're down, I think, the first Dragon, and Global Gold is extremely important. Notice that even though we're 18 to 10 and we have 2 towers each, they only are down by 2,000. And in fact, later on this game, they're going to be up by quite a bit just from Global Gold. So our team fights when we don't have Graves right here, and it's pretty bad. I use my spells and then I back off because as Zyra, once you use your spells, there's nothing you can do. Kassadin gets caught, right? And then they engage pretty soon after this. Alright, yeah, the flash gold card. You got the spell shield, protect him from a lot. AoE, Zyra ult damages 4 and knocks 3 in the air, which is good. And I notice I have 1 big E plant and 1 big Q plant. Really good combo, but even still, we don't have Graves in this fight, so there's no point in me staying. Unfortunately, I thought it was closer than it actually was, and I stayed too close. He manages the flash jump and then get me with his slow from his W, and then I'm just a goner from there. Rest in peace onto Zyra. This is actually the point where our team starts falling behind quite a bit. So they get another dragon, and they got the TF ult. Every time TF ults are really, really bad when you're playing Zyra. Whenever a TF ults, you always want to stay as close to your team as possible. Hopefully he'll focus someone else and you can focus him. Alright, Riven's going up here. One E with 1 slow plant. We don't manage anything. Again, black shield. Really annoying when you're playing Zyra. So now that we're getting into the mid game, vision over Baron is really, really important. So I'm going to focus on doing that. And then notice I see that they're all coming top. So I want to back them up. Riven's going in. I missed my E, but I have a great AoE ult right here. So I have 1 big E plant, 1 big Q plant. That's ideal for every Zyra ult. And I don't think it actually knocked anyone up, but it still did the damage and made the plants big. TF is coming up, and Kassadin's chasing. Kassadin's really ahead, so she can chase just fine. And now I want to make sure I don't get hit by the TF. He has to come through my plants, which is going to make him take quite a bit of damage. And then I wait for him to get on the Kassadin before going in and doing damage. Again, I just get to do 1 E with a slow plant, and it works out really, really well. And so that's how I play that fight. Meanwhile, Zyra's still pushing bottom, and we lose another turret, but we do get mid off of that and some kills, which is really nice. So focusing on getting vision control of Baron. Notice something right here. A lot of people, this is a small subtlety of supporting, is oftentimes people won't place a green ward when there's already a pink ward, but because vision controller on Baron is so important right now, I expect that other people are going to be sweeping or getting rid of this pink really quickly, and oftentimes people will not sweep where there was just a pink ward because they don't expect it. So right here I almost have my core. Sork Boots, Haunting Guys, and Morellonomicon. Once you get those 3 items on Zyra, you become extremely powerful, and you can turn the Haunting Guys into a Leandri's Torment and do a lot of damage after that. What else? Make sure you always have pink wards, because you never know when you might need them. Having a pink ward at an objective can make or break the effectiveness of that objective. So again, we're just kind of doing a little Baron dance right here. Riven was overextended, TF ulted. I can't save him, so I shouldn't even try. Go back and not die. You should always support people when you can, but you should never die for it. Unfortunately, I tried to get some damage as we were retreating, and I missed my E on this Aurelia, which almost kills me. Luckily, with the support of my team, I do manage to escape. and then get a nice Gangplank ult right here, but now Gangplank gets caught. And they keep on chasing, but I get a nice Zyra ult to zone them off, forcing Sivir's flash and her heal. This isn't a great fight because remember this started off with us being down one person, and here again coming up is me waiting to flash his W, but I waited too long. So never hold on to your flash when you can use it to save your life. So this is gonna get them even further ahead. Now they're already 2k gold ahead, even though we have more kills and the same number of towers. So they're moving to take Baron, and we can't really stop it. However, does this give me my... Right, this does not actually give me my Morellos yet. So they kind of suicided right there, trying to stop Baron. Oftentimes when people are low, it's a really good idea to try to clean them up while they're backing, but unfortunately they weren't that low, and the two of them got picked off even though they did get the Kha'Zix. Coming up here, alright, focus the Sivir with the Gangplank. Should be able to kill him. Then move on to the Aurelia. I believe I exhaust the Aurelia, but trying to fight my plants and it doesn't quite work. Now unfortunately here, she runs away, and I should run away too because she can't chase me through my plants. But unfortunately, I think I can kill her. I try to flash E her, I get exhausted, and I miss my E. So I got baited really hard right there. That's actually, and that's again a very, very common Zyra mistake. When someone's low, never overestimate your damage or your ability to hit skill shots. Oftentimes, it's better just to survive unless you're very confident in your abilities. Now this game is spiraling wildly out of control. We're 5k gold behind. I finally have my Morellos though, and next up I'm going to want to upgrade either into Liandry's or upgrade my Sweeper depending on the game. Upgrading a Sweeper would be good. It would help us a lot with vision control, and it would help us see the Kha'Zix. And upgrading my Liandry's would give me a lot of extra damage because let's see, this Kha'Zix has no MR, just some health. The Aurelia has no MR. Chain Vest, the Twist of Fate, no MR. The Morgana, no MR. The Sivir, no MR. So you don't. Void Staff is a really good Zyra item, but in this case it'd be better to get the Liandry since that works more off of health than Void Staff, which is more of a counter against MR, Magic Resist. So team's getting pretty excited right now. Even though the opposing team has Baron, my team really wants to fight, which is really dangerous. Luckily, Zyra does have very, very good team fight. So this is an interesting tower siege right here. Zyra's really good at defending towers. You have good wave clear with your E and your Q, and you can, if you catch someone out, you can use your ult, and your ult's very good at anti-turret dives. Unfortunately, I'm getting hit by so much. Everyone's getting hit by so much harass from the Morgana and from the Twisted Fate. Even though I got some really nice harass back onto them, they have potions, they have Barons, it's not going to do anything, and we're really, really low. And again, most of them still have Baron. So we're just going to try to hold this turret for a little while, and then we just decide we're too low, they could dive us, the turret's too low, we just need to back off, especially since Kha'Zix was coming around. So we say, okay, everyone back really quickly while they take that turret, get home guards, and then we'll be able to defend this turret, and we do. So they dive a little hard, and we go in. Kassadin is chasing the Kha'Zix, and I'm not going in front because again they could turn on me really, really easily, but I am following to back up my team. Riven goes in on the Aurelia, and here's a pretty nice play. So I root the Sivir, set up an ult. She has a big Q plant on her that'll zone the Morgana, almost kill the Sivir, and then I go back and help with the Aurelia. Although in this case I have no spells yet, so I can't actually do too much on the Aurelia. And again, the Morgana is unable to get in place to use her ult. So again, watch what happens. They go on the Riven, but I managed to get a root with a plant onto Sivir, get my ult. Completely zoning the Morgana out while we can deal with the Aurelia, and then Kassadin comes in and kills the Sivir. Again, remember our Kassadin's really, really fed along with our Gangplank. So after this, we're starting to catch up a little bit, although still 6k gold behind, and we successfully defended our inhibitor turret. Luckily, Twisted Fate's really low, but again, every time you see his ultimate, you always want to stick together and then try to burst him when he comes out. Because this Twisted Fate does not have his Zanyas completed yet. So you can kill him right when he spawns. So this is really, really dangerous right here. If Twisted Fate had Flash, he'd easily Flash Gold Card me. So when you retreat, especially since with people with a lot more mobility than you, like Cassidon and Graves, you always want to retreat in the back, but I was a little too far forward. I use my plant right there just to slow anybody if anyone keeps on chasing, so I don't have to walk all the way back to back. But even still, I get pretty scared. Refreshing some wards before I back because I know nobody's here. And then notice that Baron's up in 2 minutes, so you always want to have some sort of vision near that area for when it's coming up. Wards last 3 minutes, so if Baron's up in 2 minutes, that's quite good. So that's going to be a major fighting point. We're catching up on a little bit of gold. Keep focusing on warding. And warding, let me slow down the replay really quick, because warding as Zyra is very, very different than warding on like Braum or Taric, or nobody plays Taric. A tanky support like Thresh or something. You are, as Zyra, you are immobile, you are squishy. That's pretty much it. So if you're warding and you find someone, it's very dangerous. We see the Twisted Fatal, we don't know where he is, always stick together. That's exactly what we're doing. Even though Cassidon's down there, his team's not close enough to follow up. So he decides to just use it and take the tower. Again, we don't have Cassidon, so we're just gonna let him take it. Cassidon's split pushing, which is unfortunate, but she does have the Iceborne Gauntlet, which helps him a little bit. And we set up to defend this tower. The Kha'Zix has good poke, the Twisted Fate has good poke, Morgana has good poke. This is a really nice ward when you're defending this tower, because as you can see, this Morgana is gonna come over and try to bind us. And a common mistake is when you're defending this tower, standing too close right here. So I move close because I want to see if I can kill her, but if you don't have vision, you never want to stand this close. In fact, there was an LCS game where a Thresh was right here, and someone was just like right there and got hooked, and it lost them the turret and a lot of kills as well. So Cassidon's keep still going and force the Kha'Zix to back, which is going to give us a little bit more of an advantage up here. So they back off because they don't have a Kha'Zix and they know Cassidon has teleport, although Cassidon's really low, so she's not going to be teleporting. We keep chasing because, again, we are pretty strong, but then with the Aurelia ultimate, we get too low and back off. You never want to overextend. Now, unfortunately, our wards on Baron are going to be running out soon, so that could become a very easy way for us to lose. So again, I go and I pop a ward right here. Now there's two spots that you want to use when you're warding Baron. The spot right here, and then the other spot is deep in here because it forces them to either use 2 sweepers or 2 pink wards to get vision. And an alternative thing you can do is ward right inside the pit and right outside the pit, but then 1 sweeper will get them both. And unfortunately, I wasted a pink ward right here. I think it's a really good idea to have a pink ward on Baron, but unfortunately, you don't want a pink ward when you can't defend it. Otherwise, you're basically just losing 100 gold and giving them like 30 or something. So they're pinging out Dragon. They're probably getting ready to go do that. And I'm back. And you can see I upgraded my Leandries and or Haunting Guys into Leandries, and just now I upgraded my Sweeper as well, and that'll be really, really good. A lot of supports upgrade Sweepers really early on Zyra. I usually prefer damage a little bit earlier unless I really need it. So they're converging on Dragon. Cassidon's behind them, but Graves is farming, so we can't really contest the Dragon. So instead, I'm going to focus on getting vision control over Baron. So let me pause this really quick. So this is really, really bad. I think we knew they were at Dragon, and we're totally split right here. There's 3 of us here, and then Cassidon and Graves are nowhere to be found. So Twisted Fate says, okay, I'm gonna go engage. We're 6k gold ahead, and you guys are caught off. So we were a little overextended here, and so they catch the Riven. I get an amazing Zyra ult, but unfortunately the Riven's still gonna lose his GA and die. But so much damage just from the Zyra and the Gangplank ult, but unfortunately it's not enough because even though we had like the perfect fight, it was 3v5, which makes it a little less ideal for a perfect fight. All right, we're coming up on the end of the game. I think there's only one. Oh, this is actually very interesting to comment on as well. This Aurelia over chases. Notice what happens. So after they kill the Riven, the Aurelia comes down here, and I say, okay, you're a low health Aurelia, and we have a fed Gangplank and a Zyra. So I snare her in a plant, Gangplank Qs her, doing a lot of damage, and then I add another plant to a Q plant to get her as she walks out, which allows Graves to do a flash static shiv ult. And so that gives us a lot back, because again, remember, we're losing pretty hard. And we try to chase, but it doesn't work too well. The Gangplank actually flashed the binding, causing me to get hit by it, which is a little interesting. And here is the end of the game pretty soon, I believe. So we focus on getting vision control. The Kassadin managed to chase down the Morgana, but unfortunately she chases too far and gets shut down. So focus on vision control. Again, I pink when we can't defend it because I'm low. I need to go back. You can't stay near them when you're against such a team comp good at picking people out. They have a Zyra that's good at picking people out and a Twisted Fate that's good at picking people off. So again, I wasted a pink ward. Pinks are great, but only if you can defend them. That's I've done that 3 times, I believe, this game. So that's a main thing to take from this. And I just buy some more. I don't think I'm gonna have time to get another item, although I would get a Void Staff probably, even though we still have no MR, even though we have a fed Kassadin. Oh, they have some Negatron cloaks, so yeah, Void Staff would be nice. Twisted Fate cards are really hurting, and again, we're setting up around Baron. Try to get ward control. You do not want to get surprised, and you want to stick together because of Twisted Fate ult. So Kassadin's doing some poking. I'm staying in the back. All right, here is the final team fight. Twisted Fate tries to catch someone, but unfortunately, the rest of his team is not very close to follow up. He Zanyas, but I still get an EW off on him. He's really low, and I snared the Kha'Zix. So I Zyra ult with all my plants, right? And I get a 5-man knockup right here. So that's huge. That allows them to easily focus down the Twisted Fate. I have an E plant and a Q plant in the middle of this doing massive amounts of damage. Sivir can't even come in. We can just turn on now the Kha'Zix and the Aurelia, and then it's pretty much, oh, Kha'Zix is in the back. We can turn on the Aurelia, and then that's just a massive team fight win. A 5-man Zyra ult with my plants and the whole thing, and we pick off the Twisted Fate early, and then we zone the rest of them while we kill the Aurelia. So let's see that again. Alright. So Twisted Fate tries to engage because he has a Zanyas. He doesn't Zanyas quick enough. So that allows me to get my spell off of him and Kassadin and bring him very low. I already have a plant there that's zoning people out. We have the Gangplank ult, which is doing massive AoE damage. I have both my plants being huge. We zone half of them, peel back and focus on peeling the Aurelia off, and then Kassadin and Gangplank cleanup is crazy. Morgana only just now gets her ult, Kassadin cleans up, and that's pretty much game. So then after that, we just go down mid and then realize bot's easier, and then we end the game. So notice that my final build is not too many items, right? Just a Morellos and a Leandries. But I still do a lot of damage this game. I didn't have an exceptional laning phase, but I still managed to be extremely relevant late game with a focus on warding and doing good damage in team fights. You always want to use your ultimate to do massive damage, as many people as possible, zone their back line, and kill their front line. So that's I think a lot of good concepts from this video that we saw just now. So early game, push the wave while trying to harass to get an early level 2. Once you're level 2, use your plants to zone out the enemy and do a lot of damage. Always stay safe because Zyras are really immobile and squishy, and try to get good ward coverage. Don't get caught out because again, it's very hard to ward. Get deep wards whenever you can, but don't get them when you don't know where they are because you can easily get caught out and die while warding. Focus on objectives, and use your ult as a great way to zone some people and do damage to others. Your ult makes your plants do a whole lot more damage because it raises their attack speed. And when you use your plants, you want to have one E plant, which is a slow, and one Q plant, which has longer range. So again, if you want more information on Zyra guides, or if you want to see my awesome shirtless stream, there's information below the video. Feel free to check it out, and thank you for watching.